Hello, everyone. Today, I would like to introduce you Department of Interior Architecture and Environmental Design Master Programs at Yaşar University Graduate School. I am the head of the department, Associate Professor Dr. Zeynep Tuna Ultav. We have two programs. One is with thesis, the other is a non-thesis program. And we give a Master of Science degree in Interior Architecture. And the language of education is full English. In our programs, in both programs, thesis and non-thesis programs, we divided these programs into three main tracks. One of them is, as you see here on this slide, Restoration, Intervention, Transformation, Modification and Interiors track, Design and Culture track, and Environmental Technologies track. And each of them has a coordinator, a track coordinator, and a track research assistant. Why we divide them into these? Because we categorize the courses under these tracks. Whatever our student would like to study in his or her thesis or in her term project, in his term project, in non-thesis program, he or she takes the courses accordingly with the advisors under these tracks. So to give a general idea about the programs and how they differ, thesis and non-thesis, first of all, ECTS credits differ. Thesis programs need 120 ECTS credits, whereas non-thesis programs require 90 ECTS credits. In thesis programs, you need to take 7 courses, a seminar, and you need to write up a thesis. And in non-thesis programs, you take 10 courses and you have a term project. And also education period differs. In thesis programs, you have maximum of 6 semesters, whereas in non-thesis programs, you have a maximum of 3 semesters. And here you see fall semester quotas for 2021 and 2022. These quotas change in each year, so you need to follow up. And you also see some scholarship options which can be gained after the evaluation. So for national students and international students, quotas here you see, they differ. For application, there are some requirements. For thesis programs, ALES, GRE, and GMAT is required. Here you see 60 from ALES, quantitative field area, GRE 151, and GMAT 465. In non-thesis programs, no GRE, GMAT, or ALES is required. Foreign language, there is a foreign language requirement. It should be 65 minimum for both programs from YDS or other equivalents defined by ÖSYM. And undergraduate scores for thesis programs, you need to have received 2.3 out of 4. For non-thesis program, this is not a requirement. And we accept graduates of any undergraduate programs for both programs. However, if you are from a different program other than architecture, you need to take scientific preparation classes, either 1 semester or 2 semesters. And acceptance criteria is defined as you see here, interview 20%, portfolio 10%, ALES GRE 50, and undergraduate GPA 20%. This is for thesis program. And for non-thesis program, interview 20%, portfolio 10%. As I said, no ALES is required, and undergraduate GPA is 70%. For international students, we do not have the interview criteria, but we evaluate all the folder that the candidate submits, the application letters, letter of interest, reference letters, and of course, again, the portfolio. Okay, let me introduce you our academic staff. As I said, we have 3 fields. In this field, written field, we have 2 instructors, as you see here, and 1 research assistant. In design and culture field, we have 5 instructors, and we have a research assistant, you see here. And in environmental technologies field, we have, again, 5 instructors and 2 research assistants. Okay, let me introduce you the fields in more detail. The written field, I will call it written. I will not tell the full name always. It focuses on the theory and practice of adaptive reuse, and the main aim is to bring a wide perspective on adaptive reuse. Students of this module are expected to specialize in the history and structural properties of built environments, the principles and methods of adaptive reuse, in addition to the solutions of the problems of adaptive reuse. Here you see some of the research topics. Of course, these are not all. For example, remodeling of historical stratification, adaptive reuse and abandonment, improving the sustainability and energy performance of existing historical buildings, cultural and historical sustainability, contemporary interventions in historical buildings, and so on. Okay, these are the courses that this track offers. Current topics is the compulsory course for all tracks. Research methods and ethics is also. But other than those, we have elective courses from which you can choose. Intervention and modification, interior design and architectural conservation, history and theory of adaptive reuse. An interior design workshop is a common elective course for all fields. And what kind of theses are produced under these fields? Here you can see reverse chronologically what has been produced. Let me just read some of them. The very recent ones, for example, in 2021, Üzüm Karadağ wrote a thesis on temporary interventions as an alternative adaptive reuse tool. Or in 2020, we had a thesis entitled Adaptive Reuse of Silo Buildings with Contemporary Approaches, or Adaptive Reuse Potentials of Historical Buildings in Nigeria, case study of 2 abandoned vernacular palaces. And you see the other thesis produced under this field. Okay, design and culture track focuses on both the theoretical foundations of interior architecture practices and the synthesis of theoretical and practical knowledge through the studio courses. Students of this track are expected to specialize in housing, spatial history, space typologies, modern interiors, and spatial cultural representations in literature or cinema. And here you see we have quite a lot of research topics. We have some subtracks even under this track. So these are design history in Turkey. Let me exemplify some of the topics. History of interiors, interior design movements, contemporary Turkish designers, etc. Under design education, we have integrated design approach in interior architecture education, or under perception, we have shaping interiors, user perception issues. Under housing and culture, we discuss about immigration and housing. We work on immigration and housing. We have a subtrack of healthcare interiors. We also work on interior typologies such as accommodation buildings or education buildings or child-friendly spaces like kindergartens, primary schools, etc. We work on fictional spaces or cinematic spaces. Or other topics cover issues such as urban interiors, interior landscape, or representation techniques in interior architecture. Here you see the elective courses. Again, we have these 2 compulsory courses, but other than that, we offer user perception in interiors, literary space analysis, cinema and design, home culture and design, architectural culture and interiors in Izmir, temporary theories in architecture. These are architecture courses, these 2, spatial practices. And again, the common course, interior design workshop. Let me give some examples from the recently produced thesis. Facade as urban, architectural, and interior element, interpretation of tangible and intangible values in Izmir Karşıyaka apartment blocks between the periods of 1950 and 1980, or spatial constructions of identity, Anatolian Tahtacı communities, or analysis of post-disaster emergency housing projects in terms of interior space quality parameters. And these are some of the theses produced. Let me show you some more. So this is reverse chronological. You can have a look at that. Okay, and thesis, the other thesis in the first years of our programs. Okay, and the third track, environmental technologies track, includes theoretical knowledge on energy efficient building design and the application of this knowledge to architectural design projects. Students are expected to specialize in energy efficient building design methods, bioclimatic design, passive solar architecture, and life cycle cost analysis. Here you see some of the research topics, such as energy efficiency optimization, interior design strategies, indoor environmental control measures in design studios, methods to improve indoor air quality, or sustainable evaluation of building models, healthy buildings, or about lighting, the role of artificial light sources in color perception, effects of light and lighting on human psychology, etc. So these are the courses. Again, we have the same compulsory courses, and the other courses are interior life cycle, advanced lighting design, advanced lighting research, healthy buildings and indoor environments, indoor comfort management, introduction to indoor environmental quality, and again, we have the common elective course, which is interior design workshop. And these are some of the theses. The last one produced under this track is wind-driven course ventilation design and stimulations for a naturally ventilated classroom wind-driven cross ventilation design. And the other one, evaluation of sustainability of high-rise buildings in Izmir, Mistral Towers, or the other one is the effect of microalgae in indoor carbon dioxide level, an experiment in an office of Yaşar University. And you see the other thesis as well here. And we also pay importance to scientific research projects. So our students are also invited to take part in those projects as researchers. So these are some of the projects realized in our department. For example, under rhythm field, the title was, one of the projects was terrestrial laser scanning technologies in cultural heritage documentation. Or under design and culture field, interactive digital exhibits to experience architectural heritage, the case of balcony balustrades of Ankara. Or another project was spatial analysis of mid-century multi-story dwellings and 3D transferring to virtual platform, Karşıyaka, Izmir. And for example, under environmental systems research group, one of the recent projects is the effect of passive solar shading elements on daylight levels and energy efficiency in architectural residential heritage of Izmir. So Erasmus Plus is also valid for graduate programs. And here you see our partners from Slovenia, Italy, Portugal, Hungary. Okay, so we have many trips in bachelor degree, but we also have trips in master's degree programs. So here you see some examples from some of our trips in our graduate programs. For example, this is not from pandemic period. It was a trip to, it was a site visit to Maltepe gas factory. There was a competition, I guess, in 2017. So this is, for example, a photograph from that. And seminars and symposia, graduate school organizes seminars periodically each month, several seminars, and it's open to all our students. Here you see one example from last December and November. And also we organized the national symposium called İçlis, so Graduate Studies Symposium in Interior Architecture. The title was like that. And we had a collaboration with Istanbul Technical University to organize this symposium. Here, our students also presented their works, their thesis works, or our alumni presented. Okay, we have some protocols as well. So if you are, especially this is for our national students, if you are a member or if your family is a member, is working in these, either working or a member of these institutions, there is a certain amount of discount. For example, our students are mainly from Chamber of Interior Architects Izmir branch, so they have a special scholarship discount. We have scholarships for national students. Here you see the percentages. For international students, the same percentages are defined, but the process is followed by International Office of International Affairs. There are other scholarship options like research assistant scholarship, or if you are a student of bachelor degree, if you have a scholarship there, you can continue that one. And also these scholarships can be combined. Okay, so this is a summary of our programs. But if you need further information, you can visit our websites. Here you see the websites of our programs. One is with thesis, the other is non-thesis program. If you are an international student candidate, you can visit international.yaşar.edu.tr. And below are our bachelor degree programs. If you are interested, if you want to see what's going on there, you can also visit that. And li.yaşar.edu.tr is the link for the graduate school. And here, if you want to follow the graduate school social media, here you see its link. Thank you for listening. I hope you can be with us, you can be successful, and would like to see you as our students. Goodbye.